I just want to end, and on that note of like what's realistic for capitalists to do. I want to say that I just rewatched for a first time in a number of years Michael Clayton, which I think is getting people are talking about it more and more these days, and a movie that came out in that great year, the last great movie year in American film, 2007. There Will Be Blood, No Country for Old Men, Zodiac, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, and Michael Clayton. That's just off the top of my head. There's more that I'm not even remembering, and I think now Clayton might be the best one of those, honestly, just because it is, in my mind, just the perfect legal thriller. It does everything that it could do with the material that is made up of it. The performances are amazing. Tom Wilkinson obviously is fantastic, but Clooney has never been better in that movie. He does so much stuff with his face. So he's just like, he's this twitchy mask that's always looking like it's gonna pop open. Really good stuff. But if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert, I'm gonna stop after this so you can log off if you want to go watch it. And I highly recommend going and watching it. So if you don't want a spoiler, drop off now. So the plot of the movie is that Tom Wilkinson is this big shot lawyer with his firm that's defending an agribusiness giant against a lawsuit from a bunch of farmers in Wisconsin that they sold them a fertilizer that gave them all cancer. And it's been going on for years, but in the middle of a deposition, Tom Wilkinson has a psychotic break and freaks out, and the firm brings in George Clooney, who's the fixer. He doesn't do litigation, he just smooths over shit for people, which is something that the capitalist system needs, those lubricants. A guy to patch over the rough spots and do the things that are not within the realm of the law necessarily. And they bring him in because he's a friend with him to talk him down. But at one point, eventually, the head of the internal legal team for the agricultural company, played by Tilda Swinton, hires these dudes to kill Tom Wilkinson. And then later, George Clooney, after it looks like he's getting too close to the case. And she's working on behalf of the CEO of the company, who's played by, he was Ed Truck in The Office. Also, on 30 Rock, he was Hank Hooper. And I think what's really well observed about it is that, and I remember at the time when it came out, Ross Douthat complained that it was unrealistic because a corporation wouldn't just have someone killed. It wouldn't just have people killed because it's a corporation. They have zillions of dollars. Like, even if they lose this lawsuit, and the big thing hinges on the fact that the litigator, the Tom Wilkinson character, has a document that's like a absolute smoking gun that these guys knew the drug killed people, knew the fertilizer killed people, and didn't do anything about it. Like the stuff that means you're dead, you're fucked. You're gonna have to spend $30 billion on this fucking thing. Is that the order doesn't come from the top guy. The order doesn't come from Hank Hooper, the CEO. Because even if this comes out, what's the worst thing that happens? He has to retire 2 years early, right? He has to take his golden parachute a little ahead of time before he goes and golfs. Like, oh, maybe he has to go in front of Congress. Like, he's not going to jail. He'll be fine. The stockholders will take a hit. They'll be pissed at him, but like, there's insurance. It'll all be fine. The person who orders the hit is Tilda Swinton, because for her, the stakes are vastly higher. Because if this goes south, her career is ruined, and she doesn't have the golden parachute. She's just like halfway up the mountain. She doesn't want to get thrown to the bottom. She has the fear of falling, and that is where all of the monstrous extra legal stuff happens. Not at the commanding heights, because the guys at the commanding heights, they're not really at risk of anything. Our system exists to completely protect them from any real consequences of their actions, because like paying a fine with somebody else's money and then like resigning your job is not a real consequence for killing, in this case, like hundreds of people with a fucking fertilizer or pesticide it was rather. It's people in the middle. It's people who want that and aren't there yet and could maybe face real consequences if something happened, because they could go to jail. Those are the people who pull the trigger or order others to pull the trigger, are the ones floating in the middle,